Hi, I'm Jen. I recently left my corporate job of making six figures to pursue my life as an artist, making zero figures. Anyway, this channel is about pursuing your creative life and overcoming the obstacles of moving forward from that, and I hope that you find inspiration. Today I'm going to talk about having the courage to create your life. I want to talk about three major things that help to create confidence in your journey, and then I'm going to tell you some stories and examples of my life and other stories that have given me inspiration to walk this path. And at the end, I'm going to share my specific process to get results and feel great, so stay tuned. I think the first thing is, when you're creating your life, it feels hard because you're actually battling your own self. It's not really out there that's the problem, it's your own limiting beliefs that are keeping you from moving forward. These limiting beliefs are going to tell you all of the reasons why you're not ready to do this, and that's going to make you push off actually walking the walk and creating what the number two thing is when you're creating your life, which is creating the momentum. It's really about walking the walk, getting past your limiting beliefs, your own personal beliefs about yourself, about what you need to be doing, about being perfect. It's about getting past that by just doing the next step and not doing perfectly and creating momentum. All right? You're never going to be perfect to start. And I think I'm going to break into a story at this point, which is there's a company in San Francisco that was started by three founders, and you probably will recognize it when we get into the story, which, they were basically three roommates that were broke and were having trouble paying their rent. And what they did was they noticed that the hotels would get filled up for conventions in San Francisco, and there was no place for people to stay. So they came up with a very quick idea, which was like, well, let's figure out a way to rent out a room in our place. And then they were like, oh, well, we don't even have a room. We don't even have a room to rent out. But that didn't stop them. The next thing was, okay, well, let's just get some air mattresses and put them in the living room and rent out 3 air mattresses. And that's how they started. And that company went on to be the company Airbnb, right? So can you imagine if those 3 guys were like, nah, it's not perfect. We don't have the perfect website to set up. We don't have the perfect business contacts. We don't have the perfect idea. No, they were just like, what can we do right now to move this an inch forward? And then another inch forward, and then another inch forward, and fail forward. So that's the third thing I wanted to talk about, is that you want to make the next step and you want to fail forward. So failing is just the next iteration of what it is that you're thinking about doing. You have to practice. You need to get muscle memory in whatever it is that you're trying to start or trying to do new. And that is your brain learning through practicing what you're doing. A lot of people say that about YouTube. You just got to keep making YouTube videos so that you can get better and better and better at it. So it's almost like a no-brainer when you create YouTube videos, right? Nobody's going to start out as an expert. And so they're like, create sucky videos, right? I'm in the process of that. I'm in the process of creating somewhat sucky videos right now. I'm trying to get better every week and share meaningful experiences with you. I'll share a story of me failing forward, and I'm continuing to fail forward, which is, I started painting a couple years ago, and so I'm definitely getting way better at painting now, 2 years in, than I was when I first started. But I just started doing rhinestones on clothes, which I've mentioned in a couple other videos, or one other video maybe. It's the first one I did was this little teeny heart on a shirt, and it's not really that great, but I was so happy that I went through the process of doing that because I learned from that step. The next one was, I think I went straight from that one to like a shark on my jeans, which the shark came out better, but still not that great. But while I was doing the shark, I discovered that the process for me was quite meditative to do this rhinestone stuff. Even more meditative than the painting. Painting and rhinestones are very different. So this is the creative process in action, failing forward. So last week was the shark. I like the shark. My friends like the sharks. And this week I'm failing forward with my next iteration, which yesterday I started a butterfly on leggings, right? And you want to talk about not trying to be perfect? I was a day after a COVID booster yesterday, and I couldn't even get off the couch, let alone do creative work. So during the day, I was just sitting on the couch going, I can't even get from the couch to the floor, whereas where I would be doing my rhinestoning. But I'm laying on the couch going, I feel horrible, and this is not helping. So might as well do something that is low, I would say low physical effort, and just to get my mind off of how bad I feel. And I did a butterfly on a pair of leggings, and it came out freaking beautiful. Like the next iteration, it's not done, by the way, it's my next failing forward. So that's how you make progress, is failing forward. That's number 3. It's not about being confident. It's actually about not being confident and taking action anyway, because action is where you build the confidence. You will get confident after you take action and you decide to fail forward, okay? A lot of us want that amazing result first time, and it's okay that it's not. That's what I'm trying to reinforce here. Is when you decide to work on something new, do it to time rather than to the result that you want to get. Do it to time, like I'm going to spend an hour doing this because it's going to help me to create the muscle memory and get better. And then after an hour, you can say, okay, I'm done. I put my time in. Celebrate the fact that you put the time in, because that is the result that you were looking for at this stage of the game when you're learning, right? So it's about getting past your limiting self-beliefs that you have to be perfect, like put it to time rather than to result, and then celebrate the fact that you got up, took action, which is courageous, and put the time in. Because what's going to happen is, even if you don't get that perfect result, you're going to feel great about yourself for doing it. And that feeling great is going to get you to the next level. Okay? So I hope this chat helped this week and provided you some inspiration and motivation on your creative journey to start or take that next step in what it is you've been thinking about doing. And thank you so much for being here. And I love you. I'll see you next time.